Okay, welcome back to our class. In the previous class, we talked about designing this character and we learned how to design this character from start to finish. We also drew some other character drawing substitutions, especially the eyes. And in this class, we are going to look at how to draw more of these mouth shapes like we talked that we will do in the last lesson. We also will look at how we are going to use effects to make this pupil to only appear within this white of the eyes without appearing once this eyes closes this way. Okay, and also there is another thing we forgot. We also put pivots in different parts of this body. So we are going to put more pivots, especially in the face, because we forgot to put a pivot on this face. So the pivot should be somewhere around there, so that if we try to rotate, it's going to rotate from around that neck. Okay, so we are going to also put a pivot on the waist. Okay, I think the pivot on the waist is almost okay, so we can rotate from around here. We can also put another pivot on the torso, maybe somewhere here. Let's see how it works. Okay, maybe somewhere there. That place should be okay. So we are going to maybe draw more of our mouth shapes. Remember in the last lesson that we only drew one drawing or one page, and we did extend this page to cover up to 60 pages, which is the last frame that we have in this animation, because we want to draw more drawings here. We want to put more drawings here, or we call them drawing substitutions. So let me put my brush too. Let me put something like ellipse here, something like this to show ellipse or lip. So before you start drawing your mouth shapes, it's advisable to go online, use Google to search for mouth shapes online if you cannot draw offhand. Like I have a mouth shape here. This one, I got this one from digital tutors online. They are mouth shape images, that is their phonemes. So this is what I'm going to use to draw all these mouth shapes. Just the way we did our eyes, we drew an open eyes and we started drawing more, adding more drawings on different pages. So we are going to do the same thing for the mouth. So I'm going to shift this mouth shapes onto the other screen so that I can be looking at it. You can see that each of the mouth has the alphabet or consonant or vowel that they can pronounce, like A, E, A, I, A, I. You can see the pronunciation there. C, D. You can see the pronunciation. We are going to draw all this right now. So starting with now, the first one that I drew can be said to be MBP. This MBP. So that is the first one that we drew. So we can continue drawing more shapes. So I will go to page 2 of the mouth layer or the mouth book. So I'll continue drawing. I will start with R. All right, so let us draw an R sound or R shape. Okay, it's recommended that you use your brush tool, so that I can easily use your cutter tool to swipe and remove the lines that you don't want. So let me switch on my onion skin so that I can trace. I can draw from the previous drawing. I can actually know where this drawing should go from my previous drawing. Okay, so I'll continue doing this. Okay, so since this character is facing, or is kind of like in a profile view, I want to make this mouth shape to kind of like look like it is facing in a profile view, just like that, maybe. So I will draw the teeth. Okay, so it's good to learn how to develop your drawing skills. Let me decrease my smoothness to maybe 1, so that I will have more control over this, the way this drawing looks. or the way this mouth looks. Okay, okay, so continue like that, or I can leave this one this way, and can use my content editor to separate this so that I can easily color what I want. So I will continue drawing this. So this one is for the R, the A, and the I sound. You know, I'm just drawing this thing anyhow. Let me go to my drawing view so that I can better see my drawing, and also use my select tool without selecting other layers. So I will select everything and do my normal Ctrl Shift F to do what? To merge or flatten everything. Okay, so this is my R and A and I sound. So we go to the next one, which should be C. So I'm drawing from this image here. That is where I'm drawing from. I'm drawing from that image, from these images here. So it will help me to better know how this mouse shape is supposed to look like. So I can go back to this place and try to reposition this in a straight, try to make it straight a bit, or maybe reduce it, you know, try to reduce it and shift it somewhere here. I can even go back to this one and also try to reduce it so it will match up a little bit more. Try to reduce it, go back to this place, maybe put a little lip here, then go forward. Then I can now start drawing my third mouth shape, looking at the image, the reference image that I have here. Okay, so this one is a closed, clenched teeth, rather, if you want to call it that way, use that word, clenched teeth. So this one is going to be a clenched teeth. I can also use Please forgive me, I had to answer a very important emergency. So as you can see, you heard a noise that I made. Please don't mind me, okay? So let's continue. So I will continue designing the mouse shapes, and this one is for the CDGK. Okay, so we'll continue designing our mouse shapes. Continue designing our mouse shapes. Go to our select everything and merge or flatten. Then we move forward. We design the next one. We create the next one, which should be U. So the mouse shape U, we are going to create U. Remember, when you are designing your own mouse shapes, it's very, very important that you go online and get mouse shapes. Look at mouse shapes, images of mouse shapes. You can also snap different your own mouse shapes. You can just snap yourself with different mouse shapes. You can also use that mouse shapes from your own images and create your different mouse shapes. So it depends on how you want to go about your own designs. All right, okay, so I think this should do for now, because we are not going to make this super nice, because this is just for tutorial purposes, all right, for training purposes. So we are not going to make it super nice and cool. All right, but when you are designing a character for animation, I advise you to make it very cool and very nice, not to be mediocre in designing it. So I will continue with designing this. The next one that I'm designing right now is the L shape. Okay, so I'll try to get this L shape. I'll try to get this L shape the way I want it. So I will continue looking at my image reference. Continue looking at my image references. Okay, and I'm still drawing the mouse shapes. I think this doesn't look good the way I want it, so let me just undo and repeat it. Okay, so you can just undo anytime you feel like what you are doing is not correct, or you don't like the way the artwork is looking or is. You can just easily delete it or undo, or use your eraser, anyhow you choose to do it, and create another one until you get a better artwork. You can also zoom out to make sure that what you are doing is nice from zooming out. So I'm trying to get this mouse shape. Okay, so if you cannot get a good, or if you don't want to stress yourself drawing another mouse shape, you can just come over to one of the mouse shapes you have already drawn and just copy it over here, then start modifying it. Use your color tool to remove some of this. Okay, I've already flattened, I've already combined everything, that is flattened and optimized the strokes. So I will just try and do a brand new drawing for this. Okay, right, so alright, I'm just trying to get this anyhow. So when you are designing your own, please, I recommend that you do it well, do it better than this. Alright, okay, I think this should be okay for now. We can put our dimples or cheeks or whatever you call it. Alright, so go to my selection tool and select everything and do normal flatten and add your lips. Then you can, oh no, don't do flatten yet. Let's make sure we get everything that we need to. We swipe and remove the line work that we don't want there, and come to your select tool, select everything and do what? Flatten. Okay, now we also put our lips there. Okay, the next one should be the relaxed. Okay, we are not going to do that. We are going to do E. All right, so we create our E shape, E mouse shape. So just do a study of how the lips, the mouth should be positioned for each shape, for each sound, for each vowel sound or consonant sound. Just do a study of them. Look at images of different mouth shapes and know how different mouth shapes should be. Okay, so I'll continue. This one is for E. So this is for E. Okay, I'm trying to get this so that it will look nice. Okay, this will be okay. The reason why I'm leaving a gap here is because when I start coloring, if I color in around this area, it will color everything. But if I close this gap, if I color here, it's not going to affect you. I'll still need to zoom in before I can color here. I don't want that. It will be a little bit stressful for me. Although I can just leave it that way, but I don't want that. I just want to immediately color everything if I want to color without leaving any space, or without having to zoom in to color any other little space that might remain after coloring. Okay, so I'm trying to draw the lower teeth and the tongue. Okay, so if we go back, you can see how this character is taking shape bit by bit, how the mouth of this character is taking shape bit by bit. So I'll swipe, swipe, and swipe. Okay, then go back to my selection, select everything, and do what? Ctrl Shift F to merge. All right, so I'll go to my next mouth shape. My next mouth shape is F, F, and V. So I'll try to see how I can get this F. Okay. All right, let's see how we can get this mouth shape. So this F, there'll be a clench of teeth. So the teeth or the teeth is going to be clenched like that, something like that. So this one should be easy enough. So we are through with this. So we can go to the next one. The next mouth shape is O. O. So we're going to draw an O mouth shape. O. Let's not make it too big. Just big enough to be recognized as O. Okay. So I'm through with my O. I'm not through yet anyway. So I'll put in a teeth here. I'll put another teeth there. Okay, and I'll put my tongue. Then I can do my normal flatten or merge. Then the next one, which I think is going to be the last one, should be the W and Q. So W and Q shape should be very little like this with the lip. Okay, so we don't need to merge this one, they are already merged. Okay, so I think we are through with our mouth shapes, as you can see. So we can now go in and color our mouth shape like what we did with the other ones. We can choose our paint, zoom in, go around here, create folders, create a color palette for teeth. So our teeth is going to be white. You can make your teeth a little bit yellowish. In this case, maybe the person doesn't have a complete white teeth. Then I will create another color palette and call this tongue. Okay, so tongue should be little red. Okay, so I'll create the last one and call this gum. Sometimes you can use black. You can use very black. You can make the gum black, as in the inner part of the mouth. But I want to make it a little bit dark red, something like that. Okay, so we can go ahead and start painting. So we can paint the gum, choose the tongue color and paint it, choose the teeth and paint both of them. Then move to the next frame or next page and paint the teeth. Move to the next page, paint the teeth, paint the gum, the tongue and the gum. Move to the next page, continue doing the same thing until we are through. Okay, tongue, teeth. Okay, teeth, continue, tongue, gum, and gum. Okay, so we are through with the mouth shapes. We can put off our onion skinning and look at this character as a whole. So we can see that we are through with painting the mouth of our character. Okay, we can move our nose a little bit up so it will not cover some of these dimples here. So we can move it up something like that. Okay, and check it out, it's still covering this. So when you are designing your own character, you can be super careful to make sure you design this character in such a way that it will not be very close to the nose. Like this one, I don't think I like where it is, so I can actually delete this and bring it closer, okay, which is, I think, it's better. I can bring it closer, okay. All right, so the next thing we are going to look at is the network view. So we are through with everything that has to do with this character. So let us see how we can start arranging this network view and start talking about what this network view is. Before I do that, let me remove this part of the panel so I can see more of my network view. You can remove it by clicking this icon that looks like an arrow pointing down, so it will bring down that two properties panel. If you want to see it again, you can just click on this icon that looks like an arrow that is pointing up, and it will bring it back up. Then I want to remove it for now. Then I want to bring this network view so I can see more of it. So now the network view is a node view whereby all the layers are connected in a tree form to a composite, what is called a composite, that holds them together. Now I want to bring out some icons, some tools that will help me to move around and manipulate this network view better by going to right clicking and clicking on network view and clicking on network view. Okay, so after that I will just highlight everything. When you are highlighting, make sure you are highlighting this node that is called the composite. If you highlight the composite, or you highlight everything, or the composite only, you click on this symbol that looks like three computers connected to each other. You click on it, order network up, and it will show you an option that will help you to know how you are supposed to order this network. So I'll leave it the way it is, and I click OK. So it will order this network exactly the way it's supposed to be. So if you look at this network, you can see that everything is arranged in a tree form. Okay, if I zoom in closely, you can see all the same layers that we have in the layer panel here. All of them are also in the network view. Now this network view, okay, what happened? Now this network view is the same thing with the layers panel. So if you look at some of the nodes, these are called nodes, N-O-D-E, nodes. The display node is what allows us to be able to see everything together. If I remove the wire that is connecting the display from the composite, I'm not going to see any other thing. But if I put it back on, I will see everything again. So let me remove it. You see that everything has disappeared because this display is just like the visual node that will enable us to see everything the way it's supposed to be. If you remove this and try to render it out, you're not going to see any video or any image if you render this out as a final output, because the display, the wire that connects the display to the composite, was disconnected. All right, so these are wires. You can just click on the top of each node, on this symbol that looks like a rectangle on top of each node, to start dragging wires around. Okay, you can connect it to the display, and the right is how the image or the animation is supposed to be rendered. If I enter into the two properties of the right, okay, if I enter into the two properties or layer properties, you can see that this right helps us to be able to render images from our animation. So this is the default image type or drawing type that this animation or character will be rendered out as. You can change it to other different image types. for transparency, if you want to export your character or your animation in transparency, use PNG4. Alright, so that is when you want to render your animation frame by frame as individual images. Maybe you want to import it into a video editing program, then combine all of them to form a video. You can use PNG4 to render out a transparent background. In this case, you want to put your own background in another third-party software that is not Toon Boom. Okay, so now the composite holds together all the layers that have been created in the layer panel. It holds all of them together. As you can see that all the layers here are connected to the composite. Okay, so the composite will hold all the layers together. All these layers, all these drawing layers that we created, that we have been creating here, you can also see here, are the same thing that we have here, and all of them are connected to the composite. So they must be connected to the composite for them to be connected to the display and the right. You cannot connect a layer directly to the right or display. It must be connected to a composite. Okay, it must be connected to a composite. Let me show you what I mean. If I connect this to the right, it's going to disappear because the composite is what brings them together. I connected the face, that is what I connected to this place. So you can see that this face disappeared because the face is no longer connected to the composite, which is very important for this face to be shown on my camera and on my render output. Okay, so I will undo. If you try also to connect to display, you can see that if I connect to display, the composite connection to display will be removed and only the face will now be seen, because the face is the only layer that has been connected to the display. So every other thing has been disconnected. So you need that composite to be able to hold all the layers together. Alright, unless you want to start creating displays everywhere, start populating this area, and it's going to look very untidy and very dirty if you start doing that. So composite holds all your layers together before you can connect them to display, to be able to see your animation, your characters, or your render output. Okay, so if you also look at these layers, you can see that there are wires piping them into the composite is at different locations. So depending on the one you want to come forward, the wires are in front of each other from the left hand side to the right hand side. So the left hand, the layer that is at the left hand most part of this composite is the layer that will be on top, the layer that you will first see. That is, if I don't want to organize these layers here, I can organize these layers here. Okay, for example, this face, I want this face. Of course, this face is in front of this neck. And what if I finished doing my drawing and the neck was in front of the face? Instead of bringing the neck above the face in this layer panel, I can come here and find the neck. Maybe the neck is this. I can just, maybe the neck is this one and the face is this one. I can come and just hold, as in drag and hold on that layer to drag out the wire and plug it in front of that face. Okay, so when you do that, it's going to reflect here. All right, so I think working in the layer panel, in the network view, is far much easier than using your layer panel to do the same things that we did. Okay, you can also parent layers from the network view instead of dragging layers inside another layer to parent them. For example, this cap, let me remove the parent of this cap from the face. So this cap you see right here, I can do the same parenting I did here by just dragging this rectangular square or rectangular symbol on top of the node of this cap. Just drag it and find where the face is. If you plug it, the pipe or the wire below the rectangle on the face, it will automatically be a child of that face. Just the same way we did here, we drag this cap inside the face to make it a child of the face. You can also remove, you can also plug a wire from the cap to the bottom of the face to also form a child to the face. Okay, so that is how we did all this. You can see that I did everything from the layer panel and it's reflected here. You can see the face, you can see all the layers that are children of it, because all of the wires of all the ones that are the children of the face is plugged into the face. As you can see, as it's being reflected here, this is the face. If we enter inside the face, you can see the nose, the eye, the mouth, and every other thing that is a child of this face. You can also see the eye that is a parent of the pupil and the brow, just the same way we did it here. So the eye, the brow, the pupil is inside the face, but the eye is a parent of the pupil and the brow, and the eye that is containing the eye and that is containing the pupil and the brow is also a child of the face. All right, so let's see how we are going to use our effects and make this work the way we want this pupil to appear inside the white of the eyes. So how we do this is that we are going to the module library. If you don't see this, you click on this arrow pointing down and find the module library to add it to your panel. Okay, I'll go to the module library, go to filter. So this filter are effects that you can use in this animation or any other project you are working on in Toon Boom. So they are the effects that you can find in Toon Boom that will help you to make this your animation or any of your animation look more realistic. So we have anti-flicker, auto patch, blending, blur box. So if I start discussing about all these effects, I don't think we are going to finish up with this class today. Okay, and that's not what we want. So we are going to look at the effects that we need. So let's go to let's go to cutter. So we're going to use a cutter effect. We are going to need both two of them. Let's find color override. We are going to need both of them. So what this cutter does is that it cuts out the artwork and masks it, as in removes it from every other artwork except the artwork you want it to be in. For example, if I start moving this eye, you can see that it's moving all over the place. But if I want to make this eye invisible from all these other colors except this white, I'm going to cut it out from every other color here except this white using the cutter tool or the cutter effect. Then this color override, we make sure that this pupil is only cut out or is cut out from every other color here except the white. So it's going to override every other color except white. Okay, it's going to cut out every other color except white using this color override. Then okay, let me explain it the way you understand very well. So color override overrides or removes every other color except the white. It will make this pupil to appear only in the white area. Okay, only in the white area. It's not going to see every other color except the white. So the cutter now will make sure that this pupil will remain within the white of the eyes. Okay, so that if we move it to every other place, we are not going to see it except the white of the eyes. Let us see how we can do this. So let's look for one of the eyes. So this is the first one. So you can bring in one of the cutter and the color override. We need a cutter and a color override for each of the eyes for this to work. So the first thing we do is that we are going to plug in this cutter below this pupil. So this wire, the wire that of this pupil that is going directly to this composite, is going to come out, and we are going to plug it into the cutter. We are going to plug it to the right hand side of the cutter that is having a square dot at the middle here. Okay, this is where you plug the artwork you want to cut out from. Where you plug the artwork you want to cut out itself. Then this is where you plug the artwork that you want to cut out from. Okay, so I want to cut out this pupil from this eye. So I'm going to plug this pupil I'm going to cut out here, and I'm going to plug the eye that I'm going to cut out from here. Okay, but the eye is not going to be plugged here. It's going to be plugged in the color override this time around. Then the color override is now going to be plugged here. Okay, So it's now cutting out the eye from the pupil using the color override, because the color override we need to make sure that this pupil only is seen within this white. Okay, so if I plug this in, if you want to plug something in to a wire in between two wires without having to just pull this thing out and start dragging and coming around here and looking for it and plugging here, which can be very tedious, all you need to do is just hold Alt while dragging the node you want to plug in. You can see this symbol that looks like pulley, a pulley system that has double barrel stick. So if you see it, continue holding Alt until it snaps. So you can see that I can snap. If I start moving it, I can snap wires to it. If you leave Alt, it's not going to work again, but if you hold Alt, you can snap to another layer. Alright, so I'll plug this in here and I'll enter into my cutter and call this. It's always good to name your node so that you not be confused along the way what this node does or what the other node does or what this effect does. Okay, so you need to name them. So I'll call this I underscore left underscore cutter. Okay, you close it, then bring the color override here, plug, come here and click and hold to bring out a wire from the eye and plug it by the right hand side of the color override. Then plug the bottom part of this color override into the eye left cutter. You see what happened, right? Okay, we are not through yet, so we can enter into the layer properties. To enter into layer properties of a node, you just click on the yellow square beside that node, and then the layer properties of this node, and I find my eye color, which should be this white. Yes, should be this white, and I will drag it to this area and I will highlight or tick render selected color, so that it will render that color that you drag from your color palette. This is my color palette, the colors that I formed when I was coloring all the layers of this character. So I'll drag the white of the eye into this place and tick render selected colors. I can name this I left underscore color override and close it. Then for me to be able to see this pupil, we need to invert it. So enter into the layer properties of cutter and invert and close. So see what happens if I try to drag. So I cannot see this pupil anywhere else except for the white of this eye. Okay, so let me do the same thing for the next eye, the other eye, the right eye. So I'll look for it. So this is the right eye. So I do the same thing. I use my cutter, holding Alt. I can drag my cutter within or between the pupil right. Okay, then I can enter into the cutter and name this I right cutter, close it, then drag the color override, bring out the pipe from or a wire from the eye and pipe it in here, then bring out the wire from the bottom of the color override and pipe it in here by the left hand side, then enter into the color override. Let me rename this I underscore right underscore color override, then drag the white of the eye, render it and close, then also enter here and invert and close. So see what happens again. So you can see that I'm able to move around this. Okay, so we are through with that aspect and we have learned a little bit about this network. We can still learn on how we can start organizing this network by creating groups and bringing in more composites so that we can actually start to separate this network. We can also bring in another module, which is another composite. So I can bring in another composite right here, select every other thing except the right and the display and the new composite I brought, I can call this, I can hit Control G. When you hit Control G, it's going to form a group. Okay, but before I do that, let me unplug this and plug it to this new composite, then plug this composite to this display. Okay, then unplug this and plug it here. All right, so now this composite is now going to be a composite for this character. Okay, character. I can enter into that composite and rename it as character. Okay, pass through. When you click on pass through, it's not going to come out as bitmap, but the vector and everything that was used to design this artwork, which are all in vectors, is still going to retain that quality once you put it at pass through. Okay, you pass through, then it's now going to convert that vector to bitmap once you render. Okay, but if you put pass through here, it's going to lose its quality. Okay, because there are two composites here. So if it's going to render the first composite, then the second composite, by the time it comes to the second composite, the quality will be reduced further. But when you put it at pass through, the vector lines and everything with all the quality is going to pass through just that same way until it reaches here, then renders once to form a bitmap. Okay, all right. So I can now select everything by dragging out a marquee, select everything except these three, then I can hit Control G. All right, Control G. Now this Control G will form a group. We make all those layers that I created a group. I can call this character underscore group GRP, capital GRP for me. You can use any other sentence or word you want. So this group now contains all the layers. If I enter into this, I can enter into this group by clicking on this arrow pointing right. If I click it, you can see that I'm inside that group, and these are all the artworks or the layers that I created with this character. See that same character composite. All right, so I can come out from that group by clicking on this button here, or by clicking on this top. Okay, this top here. All right, or you can go back and click here, or go back and click this top. Okay, so to come out from that group, so I can shift this character aside and I can start creating another character. Okay, so if we go to your timeline, you can see that character group. All right, so this place has been cleaned up. There are no much layers again, because every layer is now inside this group. The same thing here. If I now click on this icon here, this plus icon, you are going to see all those groups. I can further see everything inside each of these parented layer. Okay, so I can now come here and start creating other drawing layers. If I want to create, maybe if I want to create more than one character, okay, I want to create more than one character. I've created the first character. I can start creating another character here and just start piping into this composite. Then after creating that character, I will organize the layer also and create a group, and to form another group here. So you organize your network view properly. Your network view will not be jam-packed. Okay, you can see how clean this place is now. But if I enter into the character group here, I can now see everything for only this character. Okay, so I can go back up. Okay, so that is it. So we are now, the next lesson we are now going to talk about is how to start animating this character. I can start by going to File, Import, Sound. Okay, I will now go and look for a sound folder that I recorded. You can record your sound, your voice, using Audacity or Audition. Audacity is a free program, while Audition is a commercial program. You can record your voice with Audacity. That is what I use to record my sounds. Then you can now save it out in a folder and import it from that folder into your Toon Boom. So I'm going to look for where the sound I want to import is. I'll go to my audio folder. I will look for the sound. I think I think this is the sound that I'm looking for. Let me open it and see whether that's the sound. I can open it, it will import. So if you want to be able to hear your sound, you must click this scrub in and the ability to play your sound. So if I now move it, if I play it, okay, so this is the sound. I can go to my scene settings, sorry, scene length, and I want to extend this my animation to 100 frames instead of 60. Okay, so I can see more of this sound where it stopped. So I think it stopped around 110. Okay, around 110. All right, so if I play, okay, let me see. I don't think it, okay, it did end at 110 like I suspected. I think this is too much. This is too much. This is too much. Let me see. Okay, so let us stop somewhere here. Let us stop somewhere here. Okay, we are not going to, of course, finish everything here. It's too much. Okay, so just to show you how to import your sound. So I've imported this sound using file import sound, then looking for where the sound is. So the next thing you have to do is right click on the sound. Okay, you go to lip sync and do what? Auto lip sync detection. Okay, so it will automatically detect the lips. Okay, so the next thing I need to do now, I need to enter into this character, enter into the face, and go to the mouth shape and start naming this mouth. You can name each page of a layer by going to X sheet. Okay, now inside my X sheet you can see the same layers: the mouth, the ear, the cap, the waist, the upper leg right, lower leg right, and so on and so forth. So this is where we are targeting. The first frame of this mouth layer is 1, but we can rename it by clicking on that one, right clicking on the one and looking for drawing, then rename drawing. I will call this MBP because that is MBP sound. I will tell you the reason why we are doing this, okay, when we get there. So I will call this MBP and click OK. I go to the second one, so right click, drawing, rename, so A and I, the second one, click OK. Go to the third one, right click, drawing, rename. The third one should be C, D, G, K, N, R, S, T, H, and Z. Okay, all right, click OK. Continue going down, go to the fourth. So the fourth one should be U, so you rename it to U. Click OK. Go to the fifth one. The fifth one should be L. Go to drawing, rename L. Okay, click OK. Go to the sixth one, drawing, rename. Sixth one should be E. Click OK. Go to seventh one, drawing, rename. Seventh one should be F and V. Click OK. Continue going down. Okay, the eighth one should be O. All right, go to drawing, rename O. Click OK. This last one should be W and Q. Rename drawing W, Q. You click OK. Okay, so we are through renaming all these files here. Okay, we can now go to our sound. Okay, so we have already done auto lip sync detection. You can now go to map lip sync. If you go to map lip sync, you look at these images right here and try to match it up with each of the pages of this mouth book or mouth layer that we created. So A should be MBP. This, you can see the shape of this mouth from the image here. You change it to that MBP, exactly the name you call that particular page or frame. You see the reason why we had to name all those things. So you go to the next one. The next one should be the name that you gave the next frame. Now, sometimes, in fact most times, it's very important that you know the name or exactly what you called each of the frames. Okay, so for this CDGKNRSTHZ, the name is too long. I might not have crammed it, so I will need to move to that name exactly. Let me open up another layer, which is the layer properties. Okay, I'll open the layer properties, see selecting this audio training to show us the layer properties for this audio training. I'll go to the map again, looking at this. So I'll call my A MBP because I already know what it is. Then this B should be that C. So you have to name it exactly the name you gave your layer. You have to put exactly that name you gave that particular layer, because if you mistype, it's not going to work for that particular layer. Okay, so you can't mistype, you can't afford to mistype. So the best thing is to find a notepad and copy all those sound shapes into a notepad, so I can easily copy from that notepad and be pasting them here. Okay, so the C should be the E sound, the D should be the A and the I sound, the E should be the O, I think the O sound, and the F should be the W and Q sound, while this should be the F and the V sound. Now we don't have which sound? U. We don't have U sound, but we can substitute W and Q for U with time. So also another thing you need to make sure is there is this destination layer. The I right is not the layer we are targeting. We are targeting the mouth. So you toggle it down and look for the mouth and choose the mouth. So when we click OK, all right, so when you click OK, you can see that of course most of the time or sometimes everything doesn't work the way you want. So we still need to do another thing. Let us first of all go to this group, click on it and extend everything out. Okay, extend everything out. Then you can see that I've already, when I clicked OK, the mouth filled, everything filled with what the computer thinks is the right pronunciation for that particular sound. So let me play. Okay, this is looking a little bit okay. Then you need to now do some changes manually, especially when you know that a mouse is supposed to appear here but there is no mouse. Now remember that let me close. Okay, let me bring up my layer 2 properties. Now there's something that we call library. When you open your library, okay, sometimes this happens, you need to just close it and open it again. When you open your library, there's something we call drawing substitutions. You can see here. In that drawing substitutions, it simply means the same different drawings that you can see in different pages. Okay, so for example, in this page that covers up to 9 pages or 8 pages or 8 frames, okay, we have empty drawing, and this empty drawing was named X. So we can just look for where this right sound supposed to be. So maybe there's no sound here, so we can give it a default sound or a default mouse shape like MBP. So you can just continue doing this, scrolling over, scrolling it, and also be listening to the sound. wherever you think the sound should go, a particular sound should go, like I is A and I, so this is correct. Okay, the computer got this correctly. Hi. Okay, so I can now go to this place and put back this M in a showing relaxed mouth shape. Okay, so I continue to check the audio to see where it's supposed to match with the mouth shape, so that I can change it to that mouth shape. So this is your drawing substitutions. When you were drawing in this mouth shape, different mouth shapes in this mouth layer, it was forming drawing substitutions here. You can see all the substitutions that was formed when I was drawing. So these are all the substitutions. These are all the drawings I did in this layer. All of them will come here, so that we can easily interchange any drawing substitution in this mouth layer within these frames. You can see what happened here when I did a lip sync. It changes to different drawings according to how the sound was like in that particular frame. Okay, so but most of the time this thing will not work 100%. So you can just start scrolling over the mouth layer within the frames of the mouth layer and start looking for where you can substitute drawings. Like this place, there is no mouth there. You can put a relaxed mouth there, and you can continue to move through this animation to know where you change this mouth. Okay, so this is another one. I'll continue that way, and remember that this mouth shapes is not going to rhyme exactly. Wow, this is okay to some extent, but you can start modifying it by changing drawing substitutions where you think doesn't rhyme. Maybe if I start moving, say hi, okay, hi, afambo, chu. So chu supposed to be the U shape or the O shape or the W and Q shape. Chubi, say. So around here I can find that W and Q, which is this chu B. Okay, chu, then chu the MBP is chu B. So you can just start continue modifying it until you get what you want, but that lip sync will give you a starting ground. It will help you to place everything initially before you can now start modifying every other thing, instead of going in there yourself and starting from the beginning to start placing or knowing the mouth shapes that is supposed to be in each frame, which can be more tedious than this. So if I play again, so for this eye, I can go to the eye layer. Okay, the eye left, so the eye blinks and closes, and I want it to open in this frame. So click on that frame you want the eye to open and come to the drawing substitution and switch it back to that eye. You do the same thing for this eye, right? Switch it back. All right, so once it blinks, it can open again. Maybe you can come around somewhere around this frame 41, and do a close eye, make the eye close again or blink by switching drawing substitutions. Okay, make the eye blink again by switching substitutions. So animation is just like watching a flower grow. You know what it means to watch a flower grow? That means you will stay with that flower, looking at the flower from morning till night. You will not sleep for weeks, for months, definitely depending on the length of the animation. You stay there, you are the one watching the flower grow, which is not possible for you to do. All right, so that is how animation is, but in this case is now possible because you are the one that will be doing all the animation and modification, both the eye blinking, the body moving, and every other thing. So you might say hi, hi. So when you say hi, I can decide to move my neck this way, okay, and make sure your animation tool is on, okay. So I can decide to move my head this way when I say I, okay. Say, oops, sorry, made a mistake here. Okay, so I can say hi. I can bring it closer. So the farther a keyframe is from another keyframe, like if I stretch this keyframe all the way here, you can see that line that is running from this first keyframe all the way to that keyframe. The longer the keyframe is, the slower the animation. Just watch the head, okay. You see how slowly the head is moving until it gets to this keyframe, then it stops at that movement, okay. But if I drag it very close to this first keyframe, it's going to rotate fast, move fast, because the closer two keyframes are, the faster your animation. The farther the keyframes are from one another, the slower your animation. So if I move, okay, so if I move it this way, you can see. Okay, I think I made a mistake here. All right, so if I move it, I can move it again here. And if I don't want these two interpolations, if I don't want this line to move from here to here, maybe if I say, it's very awkward, right? So I can just click between these two keyframes and click on the stop motion keyframe, which is this one, I think. Okay, this one is the stop motion keyframe. So when you click on it, it will delete those two lines, so that when I animate this, it's going to interpolate from that first keyframe to the second keyframe, but it's not going to interpolate from this second keyframe to this third keyframe. So if I go to the third keyframe, we just move abruptly to that position I rotated it to with this keyframe. So it's going to record the position I rotated this head and put it as a keyframe somewhere. All right, so it's going to record it. All right, so that is how we do animation. You will continue doing this until you are through with this dialogue from the sound and you finish animating. I will also continue to do the same thing with the hands and the body, okay. Say maybe hi, I can move the hand like this, okay, and move it back this way, okay. So say hi, say hi, okay. You can say hi. You can bring this one in here, okay. All right, you can see how the animation is kind of like try to take shape. You can bring this one. So I also recommend that you go and study the principles of animation. So I want this character to be looking at the screen, directly at the screen once it turns, okay. So I will go to the eyes and rotate the eyes, move the eyes here and here, okay. Move the head, not the head, the ear, okay. Then you can now compress the head a little bit and remove these keyframes because I don't need them. I need this animation to be straight without any interpolation. I don't want any interpolation in this animation. Okay. All right. So I can now move it. So you can continue doing this. I think this thing moves too much. So there's a way you can do your head rotation so that it will not look like the parts are moving abruptly. You can also switch on your onion skin to see the initial position and the final position the character should be. So I think this thing moves too much. So this was the initial position, as in the position of the first keyframe from this red outline. So I don't want it to move too much, so I'll just move it a little bit closer to the initial frame, so there will be a subtle turn. Okay, so then I can move my pupil, so it will look at the screen just like it's looking at us. Okay, so go and look for my pupil. I think it's inside here. Okay, so I can remove this interpolation. I can come here, also remove the interpolation for the other pupil. I can go up and watch my animation. Okay, let's watch it. Let's remove this onion skin and play this animation. Okay, I don't think I like this, the way this interpolated here. So let me just, so that is how you'll be looking at your animation. You'll be working on your animation step by step, frame by frame. Wonderful, wonderful. I like this. So you can see that I did a simple animation here. All right, so you can, that is how you can start to build your own characters using cutouts. This is just a cutout animation. All right, this is just a cutout animation. So we also have another one that we call frame by frame animation. Okay, frame by frame, whereby you have to be drawing each of the character movements frame by frame or page by page. All right, so we can still do more animation here by moving different parts of the body to get exactly what we want according to how we want the character to move. So that brings us to the end of this basics of character design. Please, after downloading these videos and watching them, you can ask me your questions by sending me messages on my WhatsApp or any other group that I am in, maybe my other social media handles like my Facebook page at Substitutions and also my Instagram at Substitutions. And please do subscribe and like my videos and my pages and share with your friends, okay, that wants to learn animation and download these videos. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and until next time.